My husband will not stop glaring at me in the middle of the night. Part 2. I literally stopped breathing. I just stared back into his wide, unblinking eyes for several seconds before reality sank back into my brain and I realized something had to be horribly wrong. I immediately looked at his chest and could see he was breathing. "Jake? Honey, are you okay?" I said as I reached to touch him. His body felt ice cold and this sent me further spiraling. I sat straight up in the bed and quickly moved to hover over him. His head slightly turned while his eyes followed me, still wide and unblinking. I grabbed both of his cold shoulders and started to shake him. "Jake. Please. Wake up. Wake up." No response. Just his eyes boring into my soul. Tears ran down my face as I turned to reach for my phone. I grabbed my phone off the nightstand and started dial 911 with shaky fingers. Before I could hit send, I heard the sound of snoring. I turned to look back at my husband. I felt myself freeze again for a different reason. Jake's eyes were now closed, his face was more relaxed and his lips were slightly parted. Resting peacefully. I dropped my phone on the bed and climbed over to touch him again and he felt warm. I sat in disbelief for several minutes, just staring at him as he slept soundly. Eventually, I put my phone back on the nightstand and laid back down. I turned on my side away from him and pulled the covers over my head. Somehow, I drifted off to sleep despite still feeling terrified. The next morning, I awoke to the smell of bacon frying and Jake's side of the bed empty. The previous night's events seemed more like a vivid nightmare at this point. I slid out of bed and headed into the kitchen. Jake smiled when he saw me. "Good morning, beautiful," he said sweetly while plating a few strips of bacon beside a pile of scrambled eggs. "Morning," I greeted him back as he brought my breakfast and a cup of coffee over to me. "Sleep well?" he asked as he moved to grab his own plate before sitting beside at me the bar. Not really," I quietly admitted. Jake looked at me puzzled. "What's wrong? Why didn't you sleep good? You recall looking, well, glaring at me last night?" Jake looked even more confused. "No? Why would I do that?" Like and follow for part 3.